Wichita's police chief tells me when it comes to body camera video, it is clear what the public wants. They want it released. And moving forward, he is making a big promise. Tonight, Fact Finder 12 begins its look at body cams in Kansas. And for this story, we went to dozens of cities and counties in Kansas. Tonight, we begin with the state's biggest police department and why it's looking for more direction from the state.
7 seconds. A camera on a Wichita police officer captures the moment police shoot and kill an unarmed man.
Where one person is dead after an officer-involved shooting.
A 28-year-old man is dead after being shot by a police officer at his front door.
Was shot and killed.
And for the first time, Wichita police released the video to the public.
We thought there was a compelling reason to release this.
How did you decide on the swatting incident to release what you did?
Well, first of all, I believe that these systems are paid for by the public in high-profile police incidents, such as police shootings. There needs to be strong consideration on releasing those to the public.
Wichita Police Chief Gordon Ramsay says it's clear what people want.
The public's spoken, and it's clear that that's what we need to do.
And it's why he promises moving forward, things will be different.
In police shootings, we will be releasing video.
It will be released.
It will be released.
Why?
Well, I think that's the direction as we evolve this whole body camera issue. It's clear the citizens want it. And you know what? If whether we're right or wrong, the video needs to be released.
When officers use force, but the answer isn't so clear in other cases. We ask for and receive body cam video from departments across the state, from everyday traffic stops.
I'll let you get out here in a minute. Go ahead and turn your headlights on for me.
To police interviews.
Well, what will happen next is I'll go ask for the records.
That's where the chief says there's confusion, lack of consistency, and lack of direction from state lawmakers.
Shouldn't be go across the street and one department's policy is this, the other side of the street it is something totally different.
Privacy is a big issue. Think about this. Would you want your traffic stop on the news?
You know, some of our worst days, and now potentially they're going to be caught on video camera by police.
Or if you're a victim of a crime or report a crime.
Should your neighbors be able to come in and ask for video on you?
And when we brought up that point and showed them, people we talked to agreed, yes, body cam video should be released, but not everything.
I do feel like it's an invasion of privacy, you know. I might get a ticket, I might speed, I might not be having my best day. I don't personally want my face plastered all over that.
For privacy reasons, but as far as for information and documentation, I think the footage is needed, but like I said on the news, that may not be needed.
So there are some privacy concerns.
There are, some privacy concerns, yes.
Protect privacy, but at the same time protect transparency, the very thing these cameras are supposed to do.
It's clear in every study I see that the public believes in high-profile police incidents, the video should be released.
All right, we heard from the chief. So Sheriff Jeff Easter, what's his take on this?
Yeah, Sheriff Easter and really some other leaders of both departments and sheriff's offices not all agree. They want the option to decide for themselves on a case-by-case basis, but as you see, it causes confusion. People expect one thing, so not all of them want the state involved.
It's full of inconsistencies, and we found those.
We did. So tomorrow, what we did was we requested video from departments and sheriff's offices across the state, probably where you live even, and you will see the drastic differences in the responses we got. Some released it right away. Some didn't release it at all. So Devin breaks that all down. That'll air tomorrow at 10. Inconsistency across state law enforcement.
That's what Fact Finder 12 investigator Devin Fastbinder found when she asked for body camera video. But Devin, you learned that some say that inconsistency is a good thing.
Law enforcement leaders, some of them have told me that is a good part of the law. Take a look at this map. This is what I showed you at 6. I asked for body camera video of a traffic stop from more than 100 agencies across the state. Those in black don't have body camera video. Those in gray are outside of our coverage area or they didn't respond. But take a look at these bright colors. Those in green are ones that gave me video. Those in red did not. All cited Kansas law, and some tell me this is not a bad thing.
3 months after losing their dad, 3 children watch a video of his picture.
She should be able to play with her daddy. My son shouldn't have to call someone to go fishing with him. His dad should be there to take him.
My daughter should have her father there to tell her that she's a beautiful 11-year-old girl.
But they can't because of this night.
I didn't think it would be, but I don't want to go back here with the dogs.
The Barber County undersheriff shot Stephen Myers with a beanbag round and killed him, and now Myers' family has been pushing for answers. Namely, why it took the sheriff's office 2 months to release copies of body camera video after initially refusing.
Barber County Sheriff, K-9!
They waited till the very last minute to release it.
Myers' wife, Christina, and her attorneys are now pushing to change the law, but some say it's fine as is.
The legislation has to be able to balance the needs of the public, the right for the public to know, and the rights of individuals.
Andover Police Chief Mike Keller says the current law does that. He says there shouldn't be a blanket rule because all cases are different. In this case, he did not give me the video.
Why did you deny my request?
Basically, it was I didn't want to set a precedent of just opening videos.
While 30 agencies said no, 22 agencies across Kansas gave me the body camera video, including the Sheridan County Sheriff's Office.
8191, are you guys 1036? The laws and the current statutes as they stand are pretty easy to understand.
Vehicle did not want to pull over and is blocking the south lane.
Sheriff Brandon Carver gave me the video because there's no open investigation. His undersheriff, Mark Sheets, says that's one of few reasons the office wouldn't release it.
Realistically, there's very few limitations as to why an agency can refuse it. And that, I mean, very few.
It's going to be 1044, U83.
The sheriff says they think about every request.
Everybody has reasonable expectation of privacy. And so for the public, you know, whether it's a victim or a witness that may be included in such incident body camera footage, you have to be very careful.
While these men say they know the law well, some don't.
I was curious if your deputies have body cameras.
A few agencies told me they decided how to respond to my request based on what others were doing.
Bye.
That led these men to talk about a change they think is necessary.
I will tell you that we have had some conversations within our Chiefs Association, and we believe that one of the things we do need to put out there is better training on that.
I think it just behooves any law enforcement officer to do the research and know the laws to the best that they can.
I asked Christina Myers how she'd feel about more training instead of a change in the law. She tells me she's for that idea. She just knows there needs to be some change, especially in Barber County, and soon.
The body cameras are supposed to protect the police and us both. They're not supposed to be able to hide behind that. And that's what they've been doing, is hiding.
Some law enforcement leaders tell me if the video is aired in court, it will then be public, which is true under the law. But should a jury see the video for the first time in court Sunday at 10? Melissa Scheffler talked to jury consultants about that question.
When jurors step into the courtroom, a judge asks them to remain impartial until they hear all the evidence. But what if they've already seen some of that evidence? An officer's body cam video aired on the news or played out on social media. For the past week, we've looked at how body cam video is released across the state by different law enforcement agencies. Tonight, Fact Finder 12 investigator Melissa Scheffler looks at how those images impact justice.
All those guns were right there.
Jurors expect to see video at trial.
Video surveillance is all around us. So I think jurors are surprised if it's not there.
John Walensky is a jury consultant for Litigation Insights in Overland Park. His firm works for attorneys across the country, representing the prosecution and defense.
A lot of times they'll hire us to find out if their arguments are going to go over well with jurors.
For some of the consultants, that included looking at the impact of police body cam footage in an alleged police brutality case through a mock trial.
All of the jurors were emotionally affected by the footage, by the video that they saw. But when they saw it several times, they were desensitized to it.
When it came time to deliberate, Walensky says the jurors who saw the officer's body cam video multiple times were more logical, rational. That wasn't the case for the jurors who only viewed it a few times.
They took that emotional impact and they took it with them into deliberations. So they were much more their discussions were much more impassioned. Their discussions were much more driven by emotion, by the emotion that they felt from the video.
In this mock scenario, the amount of times a juror viewed the video made a difference in the verdict.
The jurors that only saw it a few times found in favor of the prosecution and convicted the police officers, whereas the jurors who saw it several times acquitted the police officers.
But there could be another reason to release body camera footage as soon as an incident happens.
The goal of the state, of course, should be to charge the case in the venue where it originated.
Lawrence attorney Max Couch specializes in First Amendment rights and open government law.
The sooner that the video is released, the less of an impact the video has on the court's need to change the venue.
Meaning the likelihood of a fair local trial is greater. Whenever it's released, we know there's one thing for certain with this powerful piece of evidence.
An attorney is going to want to control that to the extent that they can.
For Fact Finder 12, I'm Melissa Scheffler.
Walensky says how you view the video makes a difference in your interpretation. If you're watching it on an opinion website or through social media, that can change how you would interpret the video as opposed to seeing it for the first time at trial. Walensky says the first time a juror sees body cam video, it will have the greatest emotional impact.
The bill that will ensure families get to see body camera video is signed into law. Fact Finder 12 investigator Devin Fassbinder looked into body cam video access in Kansas. Well, she found there's no consistency with how law enforcement responds. She was there today as the bill was signed.
It was both an exciting and an emotional day for Christina Myers, the widow of Stephen Myers. The law signed today essentially fixes the problem she had 7 months ago. She couldn't get the body camera video that showed how her husband died.
It is in law. Congratulations.
But now a new law means that won't happen again. The law signed Thursday says law enforcement agencies must give families, heirs, and attorneys body camera video within 20 days of a request. That is, if the incident caused great bodily harm or death.
Stephen, come out!
In Myers' case, that's what happened when the Barber County undersheriff shot her husband with a beanbag round and killed him.
If we would have never gotten those videos, we would have never known that the sheriff lied, and he lied. So that's why we need the transparency completely. They're for their protection as well as ours.
After that denial, I looked into body camera video access in Kansas and found there's no consistency with how agencies respond. Some turned over video with no problem, others refused. Governor Jeff Collier says this new bill moves in the right direction with transparency.
I think this is a good start, and I think transparency is something that is going to be a hallmark. You see it of legislators and of our administration.
But Myers and her attorney say it's not over.
In terms of public policy, I really would like to see the legislature address what's going to happen with body cameras going forward. Should they be mandatory? How do we handle all of the data storage that requires? These are all issues we need to talk about and that we can solve.
The Myers family and their attorney say our stories helped push this issue to the forefront and get a lot of public awareness. They say there's still more to come. In Topeka, Devin Fassbinder, Eyewitness News.